Hi class, my name is Kevin Filiberto, and I'm going to be taking us through Chapter 12 on personal computers. Please join me as we begin on Slide 2 with Why Study Personal Computers. The first reason we're going to study personal computers is because they are fundamental to the development and the economics of all other communication technology in this book. Computers have made different communication technologies possible and more popular by becoming more widespread. The dramatic improvements to the size, capabilities, power, cost make their development techniques worth applying to other fields. Lastly, the continued trend of a rise in computer use has implications for education, communication, economics, and politics throughout the world. Please join me on Slide 3 as we talk about the background of personal computers. When computers first emerged, there was generally one computer for each task desired. The first computers were usually designated to one task only. There would be a computer for counting and a separate computer for something like forecasting the weather. It wasn't until World War II ended that we started to see the first general use computers emerge onto the market. Since then, the use and sales of computers has exploded, with over 80% of American households owning a computer and over 90% of American households living in places that have access to broadband internet. One of the reasons for this widespread expansion and use of computers is because as the technology advances, the price has gone down. While the original IBM personal computer cost $3,000 or over $7,700 today, that amount of money could buy today dozens of computers with far better technology in them. As technology continues to improve, the use of personal, portable computers has become more possible, as evidenced by the scene in the rise of sales of laptops, tablets, sub-notebooks, and smartphones. If you'll continue along with me to Slide 4, we'll begin to talk about how computers function. There are two primary components to computers, hardware and software. Hardware refers to the physical components of a computer, the central processing unit, hard drives, the keyboard, monitor, CDs, and DVDs also are considered hardware. Software is the term used to describe how the hardware interacts with the data put into the computer. Here on Slide 4, we're going to begin with the hardware. We're going to first talk about the central processing unit, which is the most important piece of hardware a computer has. The central processing unit, also called the CPU, is responsible for the math and logic tasks that a computer performs, and it is often referred to as the brain of the computer as well. The CPU uses memory to hold the data that is inputted into the computer, as well as the software that has the instructions on what to do with that data. That memory can be stored on hard drives, which are usually a part of the computer, or plugged in through other systems such as solid-state drives, hybrid drives, key drives, compact discs, and digital versatile discs. Hard drives are just pieces of the computer that are built into the computer, used to store information. Solid-state drives use flash memory and have no moving parts. However, even though they are quieter, they often store less memory and are more expensive than traditional hard drives. These solid-state drives are traditionally more common in things like tablets and cell phones. Hybrid devices are devices that have solid-state drives that are usually used to boost the startup time of a machine, while also having a hard drive that has more capacity than a typical solid-state drive. A key drive is also often called a flash drive or thumb drive, is another external storage component of hardware that can be plugged into computers, and it's used to transport information. Compact discs or CDs are another piece of hardware that is used to store information. They exploded in popularity with their ability to hold music, but have since started to fade out of popularity. One of the reasons CDs faded from popularity is because of the advancement of digital versatile discs or digital video discs, also called DVDs, that have replaced CDs as the traditional storage capacity for most users. One of the reasons they overtook CDs is because they're able to store a significantly more amount of information in the same size disk. The final category for hardware are the input and output devices. Input devices allow a user to put information or data into a computer, as seen through things like keyboards, mices, and microphones. Output technology or output hardware is what allows the user to receive the information from the computer, either through audio like a microphone, through audio such as speakers or a monitor. Touchscreens are an example of how input technology continues to advance, and output technology continues to advance as well, which is shown by things like wireless headphones. Please continue with me to the next slide where we'll talk about the software of computers. Software is the written commands and programs that load into the computer's random access memory and are performed in its CPU. It is generally referred to as the instruction set for a computer, so it knows what to do with a piece of information. The operating system is the most important piece of software on a computer. It really describes the look and feel that a computer has. It allows the user to store files. It is how users go through to find files that they've saved. It also manages other software applications on the computer. Microsoft Windows is the most popular operating system, followed by the Macintosh OS and by Google Chrome after that. The operating system provides a platform for computer applications. Computer applications are what allow users to write, compose and send emails, make calculations, play games, edit images, download audio and view video files, and a countless number of other functions. While Microsoft Windows dominates the operating system for computers and laptops, other operating systems are more popular in things like cell phones and tablets. Now, if you follow along to slide 6, we'll begin to look at the sub-notebook and tablet market. This market continues to grow and expand as technology improves, making personal, portable computers more possible and affordable for everyday users. Google's Chromebook is a lower-end model in the sub-notebook category. While it's generally much less expensive than competitors, it also requires an internet connection to access most of its storage, as it doesn't have a whole lot of storage capacity on its own. However, it has found a very niche market in schools as they are becoming more technologically advanced. They provide Chromebooks for students who are able to then get comfortable with technology while it is still affordable for the school district. The MacBook Air is an example of a higher end model of a sub-notebook that is smaller and portable, although it does contain about the same amount of power and storage as a traditional desktop computer would. Tablets emerge on the market as they're able to fill the gap between a too small of a screen cell phone and a too clunky to carry around laptop, as internet and Wi-Fi becomes more commonly accessed in everyday places. Apple dominates the tablet market with its iPad. Some of the other competitors, Microsoft has their own tablet, as well as the Amazon Kindle has a tablet as well. The main operating system for these tablets and sub-notebooks and even cell phones is Apple's iOS and the Android operating system. These operating systems provide the backbone for hundreds of thousands of applications that allow users to input information, view videos, make downloads, and hundreds of other functions. The use of cloud storage has increased in popularity as well, which allows users to save information through the internet, and it does not require them to save it on their hard drive, taking up the space on their hard drive. It does require an internet connection to access this, and it also means that users need to be careful as there are more security threats since the information is not stored directly on their own computer. The use of Google Docs is one example of cloud storage where users are able to type up documents and save them without taking up the space on their own personal computer. They're able to access these anytime they're connected to the internet on their computers. As you can see on slide 7, the current status of the industry is that it is rising as personal computers are becoming more popular for everybody as they become more technologically advanced and cheaper to own. People are buying more of them. The biggest players in the industry are probably not a surprise to anybody: Microsoft, Google, and Apple. Microsoft reported $16.8 billion in sales or $16.8 billion in profit on $63 billion in sales. Google turned $12.9 billion in profit on $59.8 billion in sales. And Apple is the biggest, with $37 billion in profit done on $171 billion in sales. With this industry rising and technology continuing to advance, we can look at some of the factors to watch, which we will see on slide 8. One of the first factors to look for is tablets taking over desktops and laptops in a similar way that laptops surpassed desktops in sales in the past. They're becoming more popular, especially thanks to things like the cloud storage. As this technology advances, wearable technology is becoming more popular. Google Glasses is one example, as well as the Apple Watch and the Samsung Galaxy Watch. The technology allows smaller computers to be made into more personalized devices, like things such as watches and glasses. This is something to watch to see if it starts a rising trend in the industry as well. The use of input is changing as well. Keyboards are evolving into touch screens, which is even evolving further with voice-activated commands. Eye tracking technology is potentially able to erase the need for computer mouses or keypads. Another factor is the expansion of cloud storage. There is Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, Apple's iCloud are all examples of the expanding cloud storage. And with that comes the increased need to pay attention to security to make sure that this information isn't stolen or hacked into. Those are just some of the factors to watch and pay attention to as this industry continues to advance with technology and continues to grow with its widespread use. If you turn to slide 9, you'll see the question that I'm posing for the discussion board. As computer technology improves and becomes more affordable and capable in smaller packages, will wearable technology take over the market share that was once held by computers? Thank you very much for watching.